Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Today is a moral value, and we're talking about the next to believing in Allah Azza wa Jal is to respect and look after and cherish and care for your walidain. Now, walidain in Arabic, walid is the one who gives birth to you. So you have walid and you have walida. In English, father means ab, mother means Could be father-in-law, could be stepfather, might not be your biological father. But the word walid, he's your biological father, and the word walida is your biological mother. And guess what? You have to be good to your biological father and biological mother, regardless whether they are Muslims or not Muslims, whether they are Christian, Jew, whatever, you still have to be good to them. Why is that? Because Allah said that in the Quran. In Surah Luqman, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ووصينا الإنسان بوالديه حملته أمه وهنا على وهن وفصاله في عامين أن اشكر لي ولوالديك إلي المصير وإن جاهداك على أن تشرك بما ليس لك به علم فلا تطعهما وصاحبهما في الدنيا معروفة واتبع سبيل من أناب إليه ثم إلي مرجعكم فأنبئكم بما كنتم تعملون. So this two ayahs in Surah Luqman that Allah Azza wa Jal ordered us and advised us, and in another ayah in Surah Al-Isra وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ. It's a law from Allah Azza wa Jal. It's qada. Qada, hello. Qada means that the court passed a sentence that this is the qada. You must be good to your parents. That qada rabbuka, that you should not worship other than him, and be good to your parents. So the Surah Luqman, the second part is, if your parents force you to disbelieve in Allah Azza wa Jal, you should not obey them, but you have to be good to them. So you still have to be good to your parents, regardless whether they looked after you, fed you, provided you with the house or whatever. The fact they gave birth to you, you have to be good to them. So if your father took your mobile, what do you do? You shout, you scream, you kick the door. What do you do? What do you do? What do you usually do? I don't know. I haven't seen it. I've seen, some teenagers, how they behave. Took your mobile. Or stopped you from going to play cricket. Stopped you from going to the movie. What will you do? Or your mom. You're not allowed to go out today. You're not allowed to wear this. You're not allowed to. What will you do? Now, according to Islam, you must obey. You must obey. A man came to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and he said to him, I want to go with you to jihad, fight for the sake of Allah and die as a martyr and go to Jannah. He said, is your father or mother or either of them alive? He said, yes. He said, go and save him or her, if it's a mom. And he came the next day, I want to go with you and fight for the sake of Allah. Is your father or mother, any of them, still alive? He said, yes. Go and save them. And the third day, he came and he said the same thing. He said, go and save your mom because Jannah is by her feet. Which means if you save your mom, and under her feet, Jannah. If you want to kiss Jannah today, go home and kiss the feet of your mom. Mom, to kiss your feet. Why is that? I want to smell Jannah. But this is what the Prophet said. He said, that's your jihad. So even jihad, fighting for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, protecting your country, protecting your money, your family, whatever, ahead of it is be good to your mom and dad. My son Marwan was talking to one of his friends in sixth form, when he was in sixth form, teenagers, And he said to him that the most horrible crime in Islam is to disbelieve in Allah Azza wa Jal, and next to it, to disrespect your parents. And the third one is to kill somebody, innocent. He said, oh, respecting your father and mother more important, than killing. He said, yes, this is in Islam. The most horrible crime is, after disbelieving in Allah, is disrespect your mom and dad. So it's in the Quran. Can you, Asif, just give one each to your friend? And want to give one each? Jane, give the girls one each. Hand out. So the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, shall I tell you of the biggest of the sin? They said, yes, O Messenger of Allah. He said, a shirk, to associate a partner with Allah. And the second one, he said, disrespect your parents. Aquq in Arabic, actually more than disrespect. Aquq is disobey, disrespect, dishonor, refuse to help, refuse to care. That's the aquq in Arabic. It's not one English word carry all these meanings, because they don't take disrespecting your parents as a sin. I don't know what they think of it. They don't. And then he was leaning on the side, and then he sit up and he said, Ala wa qawlu zur, ala wa qawlu zur. Here in this hadith, false witnessing is the third biggest crime. Why is that? Why, Sarah Ahmad? Why false witnessing is the third, in this hadith, the third biggest crime? In the Quran, it's actually killing. In the hadith, in this hadith, false witnessing.
I'm not sure.
Who is sure? You're not sure. Why false witnessing? Have you heard of this news the last 3 days? Have you heard of Muhammad al-Fayed? And there's 37 women. First there were 7 women. They became 37. Now there's 3,700 something. There's more and more women coming to claim Muhammad al-Fayed either raped them or touched them or abused them or harassed them in Harrods, when they worked in Harrods. So it seems that if you are a female now and you have a proof you worked for Harrods, you could go and claim that Muhammad al-Fayed abused you sexually. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing this?
So they can get money.
They can get money from?
Compensation.
From who?
From like this company.
Usually, if somebody claims such a thing, you have to go to court. Muhammad al-Fayed has to be the defender, the accuser, and you are the claimer. And you word against his word, and you bring the evidence and this and that. Muhammad al-Fayed is dead. He died last year. So whoever says, nobody going to say, no, you're lying. And the second thing, Harrods was sold to a family from Qatar. And the Qatari family, they want to protect the name of Harrods. They said, okay, anybody who was abused by Muhammad al-Fayed will give them compensation out of court. So you don't have even to go to court to prove. So how many will go now? I think 90 or 95% of the females who worked for Harrods, they can go and claim that Muhammad al-Fayed harassed them. Muhammad al-Fayed is not there. They don't have to produce any evidence. They just have to probably give pay slip that I worked for Harrods. So false witnessing, you get the money of others in vain. You might put somebody in jail wrongly. You might get somebody killed wrongly. And you might, have all sorts of horrible things. Now, Israel, they go on in claiming that's Hamas. They shoot at him and they kill him, supposedly one from Hamas, and they kill 20 people around him. And the world is happy with that. Why you kill all these innocent people? Oh, there's Hamas in between them. So kill that Hamas. Now they're doing the same in Lebanon now. Oh, they are Hezbollah. They hit them. They killed 2 from Hezbollah and 35 from innocent people. Now,
Can I go to the bathroom, please?
sorry?
Can I go to the bathroom?
Yeah. So false witnessing, claiming falsely, could get people killed. Could people lose their marriage, people lose their home, people lose their job, lose their life, lose their children. Especially when there's a divorce. They go to court, put their hand on the Bible and claim falsely, my husband was exposing himself to my daughter. He lost his job, he lost his life, he lost his... I went to see one in prison. His daughter claimed that, he was doing things in the room, sexual things. He was arrested, he was sent to prison, and then later, I wasn't sure. He went out after spending 2 months. When I saw him, he was extremely depressed. He was thinking of killing himself. False witnessing. So, but it's worse than that, disobeying your mom and dad, disrespect. Why is that? Why disrespecting? Why it's horrible crime to disrespect or shout or swear at your mom or dad? And why is this? It's a big, horrible things. What I said to Muslims, I mean, I think in Eid prayer, khutbah, I gave it. Now, most women consider having children is like one of their achievements in life. It's one of their investment. Like if you go and buy shares in British Telecom or British Gas or whatever, and you expect first to get some dividend, some profits every 6 months or every year, and to have your dividend, your shares protected, so you sell it whenever you want. Now, moms put a lot of effort in, and dad as well, to get the children grow up and feed and dress and take to schools and colleges and recreation activities and things. And mom expect that the son will come one day and help her or give her some money or visit her at least. They go away. They could travel to another country. As here, one of the advice actually take the permission whether to travel away from home or not. And they disappear. So what happened to her investment? Vanished. Investment. Or sometimes they don't go away, they get married. And the wife take the son. Not to be seen anymore. It's my investment. That lady took it. The new wife. And the same with the husband. She took my son. He took my daughter, never to see again, never to come and even say hello to me. So it's very damaging to the psyche of the mom and the dad as well, especially when they get old. So this is why the ayah, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا إِمَّا يَبْلُغَنَّ عِندَكَ الْكِبَرَ أَحَدُهُمَا أَوْ كِلَاهُمَا فَلَا تَقُل لَهُمَا أُفٍّ وَلَا تَنْهَرْهُمَا وَقُل لَهُمَا قَوْلًا كَرِيمًا. Like when they reach an old age, you have to be really sensitive when you talk to them. You should never say oof to them, oof, which is the slightest show of displeasure or anger or fed up. Why? Because that's a vulnerable time. And you could push the father or the mother to think of dying because of your behavior with them in old age. In old age, he doesn't want to see me, he doesn't want to talk to me, I want him to do my shopping, he never showed. And you could be busy, genuinely forgotten. But you shouldn't put your priorities, your mom and dad. Because if you don't, you're committing the second biggest sin in Islam. So you can't go and claim you're a good Muslim if you leave. So it's when you are teenager, how would you deal with your mom and dad and why? That's your age. So your dad took your mobile, your mom stopped you going out, or refuse to buy you the designer clothing, or they wouldn't allow you to have that one as a friend, how would you deal with your mom and dad? Would you become your friend or not? The Prophet expects you, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Somebody asked him, who should be my closest friend? He said, your mom. Then who? He said, your mom. Then who? He said, your mom. 3 times. Then who? Your dad. Then who? Then your relatives, the closest and the farthest. He didn't say Joe Block or Bob, your uncle. You should be the closest is your own mom. The next is your dad. Mom are more emotional and they put more of their own body into you. I mean, if you imagine you have part of you, we take away, give it to somebody else. I mean, if we expect you to donate a kidney, it will be a big decision, isn't it? Now the mom take that human being out of her body, out. So it's still part of her. You know, if I give you my kidney, be careful, you know, it's my kidney there, so be careful, it's my eye is there, and part of my lung is there. You could donate 13 parts of your body. Can you donate in Islam, your body? Part of your body? Allah Azza wa Jalla said in the Quran, وَأَنفِقُوا مِمَّا جَعَلَكُمْ مُسْتَخْلَفِينَ فِيهِ. You need to spend from what Allah Azza wa Jalla has trusted you to be in charge of. So one of the things you are in charge of is your body. So you have to spend from your body. You could spend as an effort to help somebody physically, or you could help somebody by from your body by teaching him from your knowledge, and you could help somebody by giving a kidney, donate blood, donate part of your bone marrow. So you are expected to spend part of. So imagine the mom who gives part of her body to her son or daughter. You're eating her food, you're taking her drink, you're taking from her protein and things, and then you insult her, you swear at her, you shout at her, or you shout at your dad who's been funding you and your mom all your life or expected. But in Islam, mind you, you have to be good to your parents who gave birth to you, full stop. They don't have to feed you or drink you or give you accommodation, providing that walid gave birth to you. It's not if he said father, it could be that my father just didn't look after me and I don't want to look after him. But he said your walid, the one who gave birth to you. He might have given birth to you and divorced your mom. So will you still be good to her? One of my students used to come here to Sunday school. His father, his mother divorced his father when he was still young. And but he and his sister, they kept looking after him. He died last year, but they were really good to him. And his daughter was going to clean his house and things, although he abandoned them with their mom. So their mom was the only one who worked to feed them and dress them and provide them with a home and things. But they are really good Muslims because they were looking after dad when he was old and able to look after himself until he died last year. We went to his funeral in, I don't want to say which city because you will know. So حقوق الوالدين or disrespect or this not help or not cherish is extremely serious. When you are a teenager, when you are a child, you have no choice. You will need mom because you need to wipe your bottom and you need to get some food and drink. When you are a teenager, you need them because you're still not earning money. Probably you can have a paper round and get some 10 quid or whatever. How are you going to get enough money from paper round to support your school and support your holidays and support your clothing? But the most important one is when you are a teenager, your brain is not mature enough. It's by research. It's not like, I guess. You're not mature enough. The year before last, I gave you a homework on sabr, on being patient. Anybody here? did you do it? Can you remember? Sabr. Sabr, and I gave you a table, tick, about, is it very important to buy designer clothing and have cars, and yeah, you remember? And one or two, they ticked, yes, we have to obey mom and dad because our brain is not mature. He ticked yes. And he ticked yes that I will have to have designer clothing regardless. So that ticking that proved that his brain is immature. How are you going to expect your mom or dad, if they have limited income, even if they have good income, to buy you designer clothing while they need the money? Or at least to donate to the poor. I mean, they might be super rich, but there's a lot of families struggling. And I went to see a teenager. He's in Nottingham when I was doing child and adolescent psychiatry. His room is full of toys, expensive toys. His mom on the income support, and his dad, we don't know where he is. And his dad bought him so many toys in his house to tempt him to go to visit dad, because they are split. Mom wants to say, I'm better for you than your dad, so she buys him more toys. And his dad say, I'm better for you, I buy you more toys. And the child was so sinister, he was abusing mom and dad and making use out of them to drive more money out of them and more care and more toys. And so we had to look after the child and treat him because of his behavior, and convince mom to treat him in a certain way and convince dad to treat him in a certain way so they could save their money. Instead of buying him toys, go and buy enough clothing to yourself and repair the washing machine or do this or do that with the money. So the teaching in Islam is for you to be obedient to your mom and dad. As a child, you have no choice. As a teenager, you have all the choice. You can choose to be horrible to your parents or not. A man came and asked the Prophet ﷺ about if his dad died, how would he look after him? And he said that when he dies, you need to make salah on him. May Allah praise him or forgive him. Ask Allah to forgive him. And fulfill his promise. If he promised to do this or that for charity or for brothers or sisters, fulfill his promise and be good to his friends, which is not actually practiced as such. I have many friends who died. I can't see their children anymore. We never met their children anymore. Why would it have been better to say, oh, you were my father's friend and I really admire you, and you kept talking to him and visiting him. And then keep contact with relatives who you came through their womb. So you need to keep the good relation with your grandmom and granddad, aunties. When I used to go to Syria, I used to go especially to visit my auntie on both sides, my mom's auntie, my father's sister, and my mother's sister. And that's, subhanAllah, I used to be really very pleased. Like coming from Britain and you're coming to our house to visit us. I remember my auntie, my father's side, she's just 2 years older than me. She wasn't, or 4 years older than me. But she told me that she found a wife for her husband. So my wife became interested to follow the story. And the next year we went to Syria, and she actually married her husband to another lady. So she found him a second wife. I said, why? She said, I want to get rid of him. I don't want him to be around because he's so horrible and demanding. And the third year we went to visit her. What happened to the second wife? She said she divorced him. She kicked him out. She couldn't find him a nice man and a nice husband. So my wife asked him, said, you see, it's him. So you need to be that good to them, even if they are trying to force you to disbelieve in Allah Azza wa Jal. And one of the things which is expected your mom to breastfeed you for 2 years. What's happening with breastfeeding now? Most people are fed by the butters. So if the Hindu or who worship cows? Hindu? So they're probably saying thank you to the cows because they give them milk instead of their moms. Hello, cow, you're my auntie. A lot of women refuse to breastfeed. Some of them genuinely don't have milk. Some of them don't want to drink a lot to have milk. Some of them don't want the breast to grow bigger. And some of them, they don't want to sit and specify time breastfeed. And that's all a loss for the children. Because Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَحَمْلُهُ وَفِصَالُهُ 30 شهرا وَالْأُمَّهَاتُ يُرْضِعْنَ أَوْلَادَهُنَّ شهرين حولين كاملين. Women are expected to breastfeed for 2 years. And 2 years of breastfeeding establish the bonds and establish the caring, establish more relationship. And then you get more immunity from the milk of your mom. You get more stem cells as well. So you'll have more stem cells to help you build your body. But a lot of women now are not breastfeeding either. Which is it a right? It's not an obligation on a mom to breastfeed, because if he divorces his wife, he has to hire a breastfeeding mom instead of his wife. Now there is a lot of baby milk and things. So, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Muhammad, on your way out, you need to stamp number